Hi, it's Jane. Oh my, it's been an ordeal trying to make this video. I spent 2 hours this afternoon trying to make this video and I kept screwing it up and then people kept coming and knocking on my door and I made the nurse promise they would leave me alone after dinner so that I could get this done because I want to get this done and up. Okay. Hi, how you doing? Well, I don't know how you're doing. I'm going to assume you're doing great. Okay, so I'm going to start with some background because I kept tripping myself up and dead naming myself, which is why it took me so bloody long to get anywhere this afternoon. So I'm going to deal with that part first, in case I dead name myself, and I can start over after a few minutes as opposed to 20 minutes the first two times. Anyways, so if you remember back a couple videos, and I hope you've been watching all these videos, I was talking about um, the whole maleness and femaleness thing with gender change, having changed gender 3 times, right? Um, so when I changed gender the first time, when I went on to female hormones the first time, I was the most female I was ever gonna get. I will never be that female again. And all of the maleness that went into the background went back as far as it was ever going to go. It'll never go that far back ever again. So, and I knew when I decided to go back onto male hormones, I knew that there was diminishing returns because neuroplasticity has limitations. And so when I went back onto male hormones, yes, as I expected, I went about 85% of the way back. Not all the way, at 85%, and there was still about 15% of Jane kicking around. And then when I went back to female hormones again after 8 years, so it was 8 years on female hormones, 8 years on male hormones, the last 3.5 years on female hormones. So when I went back onto female hormones again, diminishing returns. I'm going to say roughly 2/3 Jane and 1/3 the old me. I'm not happy about that. I really want those heady days of feeling the most female I was ever going to feel. But, I am literally pushing the boundaries of what neuroplasticity can do. And it is what it is. So, a part of me, a certain percentage of me, still is very male in nature. And it comes out under specific circumstances, like if I'm around my dad or I'm working around the house, like doing construction work, or climbing under the house with all the cobwebs to deal with the block sewage. I mean, Jane doesn't want to do that shit. That's when we go into old me mode. So, I mean, there's some upsides because I can kind of dissociate and just muscle through it. But there's downsides too, which is basically everything else. It fucking sucks. Like when I'm hanging around my best friend, like she and I have been best friends for over 20 years, and she means the whole world to me. And whenever I'm around her, I just feel so male. And it's not her, it's me, right? And I want to feel like Jane. But under the right circumstances, or well, under the wrong circumstances, I can't. But this is one circumstance where it's kind of working to my benefit, but it's also, I realized today, it's a bit of a problem for this whole project here of me sharing the experience. I'm really muscling through all of this on boy energy. I'm occasionally, now and then, a bit emotional, but not nearly as emotional as I would have been had I done this surgery back the first time around, right? Had I done it back then, when I was at the most female as I was ever going to be, this would be a deeply emotional experience, and I'm really shutting a lot of that down, to kind of muscle through this, which I realized earlier today that it kind of doesn't give you the most accurate picture of what it's like. And I'm going to get into some details from the last day where all of this is all poignant. This all has a connection to what I'm about to, tell about the day. So, I'm being very analytical, um, which of course is a very male thing to do. Um, and that bothers me. So, what I'm going to do, this video is going to be fairly analytical, as well as as well as telling the story of what's going on. But I think tomorrow what I'll do is I will make tomorrow's video focused on the emotional experience. I will just focus on that in tomorrow's video, and today's going to be about the grind of healing. That's the theme today, the grind of healing. So I'm not in the hospital anymore. As you can see, I'm wearing my own clothes, not a hospital gown. This place is well, originally it used to be a big house that was the convalescent facility and then the hospital. At some point, they did renovations and the two buildings are now connected to one another. So it's one large facility, but this is very much separate from the hospital. You can't even get into here unless you have a key card. Like I mean, I kind of feel like I'm in Gen Pop now, because we have our private rooms, but we eat communal dinners, right? So yeah, so I guess I'm in Gen Pop now. Um, uh, so I have my own room. I'm gonna do a little tour for you. I'm gonna spin the camera around, and you're going to see the room, and I'll do it slowly, so that I don't, you get a good view. It's really not very exciting. It is a typical hospital type room. Um, you know, it's small, but I mean, it's big enough. I don't really need anything more. And boring wall, a bedside table, and a Jane. Hi. There you go. There's the tour. There's the grand tour. If you want to see the whole facility, actually, if you Google GRS Montreal, you can find their website. And then somewhere on there is a page where at the lower part of the page, like you kind of got to scroll down, but where you can do a zoom through walk through thing. So go through the whole facilities. I actually saw the whole thing before I came here, so that when they remember when I talked before about, I changed in my room. I saw that room uh, before I came here. And then they took me to the little waiting room, the little cubbyhole waiting room. I saw that. And I saw the actual room that they did the surgery in. Yeah, it's really kind of cool. Should check it out. Anyways, so over here now, and it's a very different setup. We have to do things for ourselves over here. They show us what to do, right? They teach us what to do, but we have to do things for ourselves. So like I have to change my own bandages. They don't do it. And I get my own ice, for icing. Yeah, I basically have to take care of myself over here because when I leave, I will have to do everything on my own, right? So they can't really mollycoddle you. Yeah, mollycoddle you. You got to get this shit down. So, yeah, I'm over here now. I got my own room, which is nice. I like being alone so much. This is so nice to be alone. Well, when they're not interrupting me making my stupid fucking videos. um, so they brought me over here this morning at 9 o'clock. And let's see, how should I do this? I'm going to do a recap of yesterday's just to kind of, bring us forward super fast. So yesterday morning after breakfast, they got me up to do one loop around the nursing station, and I was physically solid, physically strong, and just a little bit of dizziness, but not enough to make it an issue. After lunch, I did 3 laps around, and solid in the body, no dizziness at all. And after dinner, again 3 more laps around the nursing station, again solid in the body, um, and no, clear headed. The reason why they want you to be able to do 3 laps around is because that's roughly the distance of walking over here to this place. They want to know before they discharge you from the hospital that you're up to the walk of walking over here. And I am. So physically, I'm quite strong physically. So this is good. And so for yesterday, the morning was great. I had almost no pain, like it was 2 at the most. And in the afternoon, the stitches started getting really tight and pulling. And in the afternoon, and then it was ramping up into the evening. It got up to like a 6 in the evening, and it was quite unpleasant. But see, here's the background of it, okay? You got to understand this. There's a lot of sewing going on to piece together all these bits of skin and put them where they belong and all that sort of stuff, but you don't feel any of the internal stuff. Those nerves have got to all regrow, reattach, whatever. It's all numb. Even if I touch like on the side, I feel numbness, right? What the pain is from is, and unfortunately I can't show this on YouTube because it's a really bloody bandage. It's really kind of gross, and you just can't show it on YouTube. But if you're following me on Blue Sky, which you should be following me on Blue Sky, there's a couple pictures where you actually see the proper, like the bandage itself. The way it works is there's a bandage it's about that thick, and it's about that wide, and it's about that long, right? And it goes right down over the whole vulva, goes right over the whole surgical area. And to keep it in place, they use these stitches. It's damn near like twine. The stuff is so thick. It's like fishing line. Like, no, it's like twine. It's so thick. Like parceling string, Oh my God, it's so thick. Anyways, they have 3 loops of this stuff that go over top of the packing to hold it down, and then through the skin underneath and back out again, like about that far apart. So it goes in the skin, under, and then back out again, about that much. There's 3 of those on either side. So there's 6 individual spots where there's this basically string pulling on your skin. And you can feel every single one of them. I can count them. The ones at the bottom sting the most because that's where there's more nerve endings, and the ones at the top tend to be more duller pain because there's less nerve endings, right? So I have learned now, you learn pretty damn quick around here. I have learned now that all of the pain comes from those, and a little bit, well, almost all of the pain comes from those, and then a little bit of the pain comes from the two individual sutures that close the entrance to the vaginal canal to keep the stent inside, right? So there's these there, and I can feel those as well. They're a kind of dull pain, and it comes and goes, and they're not that big of a deal. It's mostly the big ass strings that are under the skin and holding the big thing down. Oh my god, it's gross to look at, it's gross to think about, and it hurts. Now, the way you manage that pain, well, I can't say this is universal. I get into this. But the way I manage the pain is with ice, because when you get swelling, everything gets tight. Tight on a string going through skin pulls and it hurts. So if you keep the swelling down with ice, everything relaxes and it doesn't hurt as much. So that 6 I was at yesterday evening was because the ice wasn't in the right place, because it was down at the bottom where it's stingy as opposed to the throbby at the top and stingy at the bottom. It was down at the bottom where it was really hurting a lot, and I just didn't have the ice in the right place, right? So I decided before I went to sleep. Now I have complete sleep paralysis. Like when I sleep, I am physically incapable of moving. So if I like fall asleep and my arm goes to sleep, I actually will wake up completely to move. If I want to move in the middle of the night, I have to physically wake up completely, move myself to the position I want to be in, and then go back to sleep. I literally do not move a muscle when I'm unconscious, which is to my benefit because I could put the ice exactly on that lower spot. So basically, like right above the anus, essentially, right? The perineum, is that what it's called? I don't know. The bit below the testicles and above the anus, that area. That's where the spiky stitches are, and that really hurt. So I put the ice there, clamped my legs around the ice, went to sleep. I slept for 6 hours straight, like from 9 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning. I was up at 3. I slept for 6 hours straight, and when I woke up, my legs were still clamped together, and the ice was still in that one spot, and all the swelling was down. And when I woke up, I felt so much better. And that's when I learned that's how you manage pain, with ice. Now, and you know who you are. I'm pointing at you. You know who you are, giving me a hard time about refusing to take pain meds. There's 2 reasons why I refuse to take pain meds. One, I can manage the pain with ice. I've learned how to do it, so I don't need the pain meds. And 2, I don't want to dull the experience. I don't want to adulterate this experience. I want to experience the whole thing fully so that I can relate exactly what it feels like, right? Like I can tell you, I can count the individual bits of string going through my skin because I can feel every one of them because I haven't taken pain meds, right? I can relate this stuff to you because I haven't taken pain meds and because I can manage the pain with ice. So you know who you are. Stop telling me to take pain meds. But everyone else, take your damn pain meds, because don't be like me. Don't be stupid like me. Take your pain meds. Only idiots go hardcore. No, but seriously, I do want to do this unadulterated. Like when I had, like when I said before, when they did the epidural, right? I was all hopped up on that alcohol slash GHB drug, whatever the hell that was. That was great. Um, and they had me already started on the IV um, um, uh, anesthetic, which was starting to kick in, and they had already numbed my back, with a local, right? So I never felt the epidural, and I wanted to be able to tell you what an epidural feels like, but I can't. I didn't feel it. I was still awake, but I didn't feel anything. They just said, "Okay, it's done," and they laid me back down again. So, and I kind of feel, I wanted to feel. I mean, wouldn't have enjoyed it, but I wanted to feel what an epidural feels like so I could tell you what an epidural feels like, but I can't, right? That's why I don't want the pain meds, because I can manage the pain with the ice, and I want to be able to, really explain the details of this. Anyways, I won't harp on about that. So yeah, so I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and felt a hell of a lot better, which was great. And but my roommate was not doing so good. She was tossing and turning and in a lot of pain. Well, tossing and turning figuratively, you can't toss and turn. You physically can't do it. um, Yeah, even now, it's like I can't lay on my side. You have to lay on your back. You can't lay on your side. It's not possible. It would just hurt too much. But I could hear her being fidgety, right? And by 5 o'clock, she was like moaning and groaning and just having so much discomfort. And I said to her, just call the nurse, get some painkillers, because don't put yourself through this. And so she did, and then the nurse came in and gave her tramadol, and saw that she was bleeding because she's got bleeding problems, like excessive bleeding problems. Like we all bleed, we're all supposed to be bleeding, but we're supposed to be bleeding a certain amount, and she was bleeding way more than she should have been. Um, so so they gave her tramadol, and then they added some more packing in under like the main um, packing. They put some more gauze underneath it. I think that's what she said they did. Anyways, after that, her pain shot up to like a 9 out of 10. And she was in so much pain that she's like pressing the button for the nurse, and the nurse wasn't coming fast enough, and she asked me to press mine too, which of course I did, just to get the nurse faster. And then they gave her oxy, and she was supposed to come over with me, but they weren't. I think she's still over there. Um, I don't know if it's the pain or the bleeding or what, but yeah, they're keeping her over there an extra day. I don't know when she's gonna come. I mean, I would assume she'll probably come tomorrow, but um, yeah. When I left the room this morning at 9 o'clock, she was throwing up in a plastic bag because of the oxy and the pain and everything. Oh my God, she had a bad night. She had a really bad night. So, and then since I've been over here, I've talked to a few of the other women here, and there's a few that are struggling. Like, there's a couple people who cannot sit down to eat. They have to stand to eat because they just, it does charge too much. And I kind of feel bad because I can sit down to eat. Um, yeah, I kind of feel bad because like the girl who sits at we all have assigned seating, um, so that they know that they're giving them the right meds to the right person. Um, so there's a girl who sits opposite me at my table, and uh, she has been here one day more than I have been. Yeah, one day more than me, and halfway through her dinner, she had to stand up for a bit before she could sit down. And then there was another one who just couldn't sit down at all. And I could. I mean, it's not comfortable, but then nothing you do is comfortable. Like you literally, there's absolutely nothing you do that's comfortable here. There's nothing comfortable. and but I could sit because I wasn't experiencing pain because I've been managing it. And yeah, oof. This is not for the faint of heart. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Like, just because there are aspects of this that I'm doing really well with doesn't mean it's easy. Because there are aspects that I'm struggling with because I'm tearing up every now and then because, well, I don't have any, and I don't have the pain. I have pressure. And I think it's my bowels because I haven't had a bowel movement. Yes, you get to hear about my bowel movements. Aren't you lucky? I haven't had a bowel movement yet. So I think, yeah, I think I'm getting pressure from that. And so it's like bloating basically. But it's hard to tell because there's also a stent in there. There's also swelling of tissues. There's also all those sutures. And there's so much going on down there. You can, and your bladder, right? Your bladder fills up. Like there's so much going on down there. You can't tell where the hell the pressure's coming from, right? So it basically feels like bloating, but it's not necessarily bloating. It could be you need to pee, or it could be that you need more ice on on stuff. It's complicated and guessworky, and um, some people have struggled more than others, and it's not fun. Don't do this as a hobby. Oh my god, yeah, yeah. Um, what else? Um, this evening I'm just going to relax for a bit and go to bed early. Um, because I've had enough of a day. Um, so today, okay, so I got to go by days of the week because I don't know when anybody's ever going to watch this. So for me, saying dates would be meaningless, right? So my surgery was Tuesday, and that's called day 0. Okay. And then today is Thursday when they brought me over from the hospital. Okay. And then Sunday is when they take um, the bandage off so that the surgical area is exposed, but they leave the stent in. So on Sunday, they take that off, they examine it to make sure everything looks okay. And then you're allowed to have a shower and you have a sitz bath. I don't know I don't know how that works. I'll find out that day. They'll explain everything on that day, and I don't really need to know. Um, so so today, tomorrow is Friday, then Saturday. All I have to do is just chill. I just need to. I should get up and move around. And tomorrow I will get up and move around and try and get some exercise, just walking around. Yeah, just take it easy. Don't do anything extreme. Keep ice on it. Just keep letting it heal. It gets better every day. My blood drain. Oh, I can show you that. I can show you the blood drain. Because that I can show you on YouTube. So normally they would take the blood drain out when they bring you over here, but they've decided to leave mine in an extra day just because um, I'm still bleeding through it enough that it warrants leaving it one more day, but it is decreasing and it is all going good. And there. There. See, that's the blood drain. And that's the blood coming out of me. And it's coming out of other places as well, but this is like gets the worst of it. And they'll take that out tomorrow. Um, and then yeah, just kind of chill for the next couple of days. So yeah, tomorrow's topic is going to be the emotional stuff, I think, because I really should cover it, and I mean, I'm getting it. I am being emotional, but I'm not. I'm also suppressing it as well. So, I need to cover it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, so one of the girls made a funny comment. She said, "This is," she said, "This is the weirdest summer camp she's ever been to." And somebody else made a joke. We were at lunch. We were all bringing our trays to the tray rack thing to put it in so that they could take all the empty trays away. And we're all waddling along, and somebody made the comment that we were marching penguins because we're all waddling along. And everyone moves very slowly, and everyone sits down with a wince on their face. Those who can sit down, and yeah, it's a bizarre experience. All of us being here for the same thing, and there's there's at least one trans guy here, um, doing a waddle like us. So yeah, trans guy doing bottom surgery. Yeah, I think that's about it. Is there anything else I can share? I don't think so. I think that's it. So, yeah, we'll leave it there, and make another video tomorrow, and we'll continue on. And obviously on Blue Sky, there's a billion questions, and I will answer every single question. Anything you can ask me, literally anything, and I'll answer it. I want to get as much of this experience out there as I can. I want this to be as much of a resource as it can possibly be. And I actually take feedback, right? Like what people say to me on Blue Sky, I'm actually incorporating into my thoughts about, what I put into these videos, right? So if you have questions, ask me on Blue Sky, and I can, cover it here, because it just makes the videos better, right? The more pertinent the information is, the more useful it is to people who are yet to do their bottom surgery. The better the videos are. So, anyways, I love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow.